Man, do I have a story for you guys. And excuse my raspy voice, I have an upper respiratory infection at the moment. So, you remember this board, the ASRock 770 DE+. This board is AM3 ready. It says it can take an X6 CPU. I went ahead and got one just to see if the AM3 portion of the board works, and the minute I put it in there, I got 2 blue screens in a row after using it for a while. Both having to do with memory management issues. One of them was a bad pool header, I think. That was the second one. So, yeah. I thought the CPU was done, but I think it's the actual board. Because it doesn't make sense. I did x86 test on the CPU and it passed fine, so I don't know what's going on here. I think this board is just garbage. So, yeah. There goes my main machine for now. So instead, I took everything out of this case and I put in my Core 2 quad board in order to back all my files up, just like a quick thing so I could back up all my files onto one of the drives in there. And I went ahead and got one of these. A Gigabyte 990FX Ultra Durable 3. It's an AM3 Plus motherboard, so it will take the newer FX chipsets as well as the older AM3 CPUs as well. So let's take a look at it, because this is what's going to go in there. There you go, you got your manual, and I got a Gigabyte sticker, another one of these. Nice. I'll put that back in the manual with the CD. I get an SLI bridge, some SATA cables, multilingual installation book, herp derp, backplate, more SATA cables, and the board itself. This board is just sexy looking. Wait until I take it out of the Mylar bag here and show it to you. Ah, look at that. Big heat sinks on the MOSFETs. And on the chipsets as well. 4 RAM slots. This is DDR3 board, by the way. So, let's go over the motherboard here. I have so much crap on here. I have PS2, USB, optical audio, more USB, FireWire. I'm guessing that's eSATA. I think it's eSATA / USB. I can't remember. FireWire 400, though, is really nice. More USB, more USB / eSATA. I think that's USB 3 right there that's in blue. And I get audio. There's only one unfortunate thing about the audio, and you can actually see it right on the board. Via, that is likely the audio chips right there. But luckily, I have a sound card, so the VIA audio drivers shouldn't be a problem. So you get your AM3 slot, and you get brackets. These newer boards have brackets that aren't attached by a brace around them, which makes me think that they'll just break one day. Socket feels nice and smooth, though. So, let's go over the slots here. You get 4 RAM slots, DDR3. You get some X1 slots. You get a X16, another X1, another X16, another X16, a plain old PCI slot, which I need, and another X16. I'm not sure if all of them are wired up for X16 or not, but there you go. You get your front panel audio. You get a header for FireWire, a fan port, COM-A. I think that's a serial header. I'm not sure, though. There's front USB. I believe the red one is high-powered USB. That's USB 3.0 right there. A TPM module connector thingy, mabobber. And the front panel stuff. And another system fan port. And there's a bunch of SATA ports right there. About 6 of them. So, 6 is typical for boards these days. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is take these brackets off for one thing. Let me show you what is in store for this machine. Managed to get a Cooler Master Hybrid 212 Plus. I've seen Max Arcade use this cooler many times, and I'm pretty impressed with it. For the price, it seems like a good buy, so I'm going to use it. And it supports all these different. It supports LGA 1155 and everything. And I also have a processor that I have a Phenom 2 X6. It's a 1045T, so it's 2.7 gigahertz, which is what I'm going to run it at. It's 6 actual cores, no hyper-threading involved. It has 3 megs of L2 cache and 6 megs of L3 cache, so there's an insane amount of cache on these. There really is, and that's going to go straight into there. It'll be beautiful. And for the RAM, I don't have any extra DDR3 RAM, so I have 16 gigs in my main rig. I'm going to steal 8 gigs out of that and stick it in here just to save some money, because I don't really need much more than 8 anyway. Works out fine. I'm glad I bought 16 initially, because it came in handy for something like this. So, there you go. Let's put this baby together. Alright, I have the RAM and the cooler installed. Holy shit, that is a big cooler. Never actually got to see one, but there it is, clamped down the CPU. Got the RAM, and the fan actually got in the way of the RAM a little bit, so I had to move it up slightly. But I think that'll be enough airflow to cool it off anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem. It's 8 gigs of DDR3 1600. I'm not sure if this board can run 1600. I think it can because it's fairly new, but yeah, it should be good. It should be real good. So I'm gonna stick it in the case here. So let's do this. All right, I got the parts in the machine. That cooler barely fits. I had to actually put the fan on slightly elevated, then push it down to get it to fit in there, and I had to move the RAM over. So eventually I'm going to get this machine its own RAM and get much smaller RAM, much regular sized, more low profile RAM even, if I can, some Kingston or something. Yes, I still have an 8800 GT in here with that Zalman cooler on it, and Asus Sonar DG sound card, so I can bypass the crappy VIA audio on this board. These MOSFETs move back and forth, or at least the heatsink does. I accidentally moved that quite a bit when I was fooling with it. I hope that isn't a bad thing, because I think they use thermal pads on those, so it shouldn't be that bad. There you go. I got the hard drive still in there. There's still a floppy drive in here that's going to be doing absolutely nothing, since this board's new and a lot more modern. So I'm going to stick Windows 7 on this thing and get it all up and rolling. And there you go. Alright, things all set up. Windows 7's installed. It's working beautifully. I had to move my Samson mic up here because my stick mic down there has frayed wires. I need to get a new one at some point. I also had to put a Lite-On DVD drive in here because it's a SATA one. I'll get an LG one eventually because I don't like Lite-On's tray design at all. But yeah, this thing is performing beautifully. I'm copying all my data back. Look at all these files. This is ridiculous. Look at all this crap. Good God. I'm moving all my Steam games over there. Moving my copying my downloads folder back. Copying my music back. And copying my documents back. And I think I like this chipset because it's not getting nearly as I/O bound as other computers that I've done the same thing with have. For example, the ASRock board got pretty I/O bound. And believe it or not, so did the Core 2 Quad board, the 775 board. That board, it's in that computer over there. It's a nice chipset. The i3 I haven't really tested that hard though. I'm not sure if it has a good chipset, but the Z68 chipset's really good, and so is this 990FX chipset. So I guess I'll just show you what I put on the machine. It's the same as it was before, but here's the general specs. It's the Phenom 2 X6 1045T 2.7 gigahertz processor. I have 8 gigs of DDR3 RAM. DDR3 1600 RAM. Here's the Windows Experience Index. 7474 696959. There you go. And it says it's 5.9 constantly because of that stupid hard drive. Oh well. It's an unfair scale. That's why you actually open it and look at it. Oh well. I like the processor. This board seems to work rather well. Yeah, I think I had a video already of the of upgrading the ASRock board to this X6 processor, but shortly after I did it had problems, as I explained earlier in the video. So, well, that's that. I mean, I'm actually uploading that video onto YouTube right now, just as a well, I'm processing now, but I uploaded it to YouTube just for the hell of it. It's not going to be public. It's going to be private, just so I remember that happened. But you know. Anyway, that's been an upgrade of this machine, and it's running. It's running. Unlike when I did it with the ASRock board, it's running perfectly this time. And there you go. I plan to keep this board for a long time too. It should be pretty nice. Yeah. Eventually I'll upgrade to an AM3 Plus processor, but this AM3 processor should last me a good while, simply because it's a 6-core processor. Well, there you have it, folks. That's a major renovation, an unexpected major renovation to my secondary machine. So now I have a proper AMD build again, which I'm very happy about. Look, you can tell. Derp. Anyway, don't copy. Anyway, that has been an upgrade of the of my secondary machine to something pretty substantial, and it will run circles around the Core 2 Quad. For those of you who doubt AMD, it all depends on your cup of tea. I used to think that they were crap because of just a lack of cache on the Athlon processors. I'd never dabbled in the Phenom processor, but this Phenom X6 has quite a bit of cache. 3 megs of L2 and 6 megs of L3, so you get 9 megs of cache altogether. It's pretty cool. Just shows that my judgment was wrong. There you go. And that's been an upgrade to this system. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and have a good one, everybody. Ciao.